Welcome back to the MTR Network and MovieTrailerReviews.net. It's Chris, and I got Phenom on the line, and we are here. It worked so well for us last time, so we're going to do another doubleheader review. We're doing Keeping Up with the Joneses, and we're also doing Phenom went to go see Jack Reacher Never Go Back. So we're going to start this review up with Keeping Up with the Joneses. A suburban couple becomes embroiled in an international espionage plot when they discover that their seemingly perfect new neighbors are government spies. It is directed by Greg Mottola, and it stars Zach Galifianakis, Isla Fisher, John Hamm, and that was Gal Gadot, wasn't it? Yes, it was.
That was definitely Gal Gadot.
Definitely Gal Gadot. Yeah, we actually saw this last week. Didn't come out until this week. What do you think, man?
I found it's enjoyable, but it's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. It's not. It really didn't hit home anywhere. It never had like a stable ground under it, and it was just so random and over the top. Like, you know, Zach Galifianakis and his wife were over the top, and then John Hamm and Gal Gadot were very subtle. Mm-hmm. Like, they never really established them as being legit spies. They just kept showing up when shit was happening. And after a while, they weren't even spies anymore. They were just backup.
Yeah. So this is one of the movies that I think if we had reviewed it last week, I might have given it a more favorable review. Because, you know, we did laugh. There are some ridiculous moments in this film that are actually genuinely funny. But having seen it last week and then gone through an entire week, seen another movie, and coming to this week, I'll be honest, I kind of forgot it.
It is very forgettable
I
because
really forgot this
there's
movie.
nothing to remember. It is a simple story.
Mm-hmm.
Zach Galifianakis and his wife are the whitest couple in the cul-de-sac. Zach Galifianakis plays, instead of playing a short, chubby loser, he now plays lost some weight, a little chubby loser. Mm-hmm. Elle, whatever her name is, the wife, she does nothing but spy on people all day long and be nosy as fuck. And I constantly found myself questioning, why in the hell did she marry Zach Galifianakis? Like, I just could not wrap my mind around that whole concept with the way she looked and the way he looked and his persona and her persona. I just did not. Yeah. They also had some of the funniest looking fucking kids I've ever seen. And the kids aren't even really in the movie. They're just pictures of them throughout the house. And every time they had a glaring picture of their kids in the background, I just kept thinking, those products right there, those three products of this marriage are proof that these two are weird together. They just should not be together.
Well, it's one of those movies that follows the standard trope of the Gaffneys, that's Jeff and Karen, that's Zach and Isla. They're not just the whitest couple, they're boring. They live in a boring, straight by the books neighborhood where everyone kind of knows each other, but you know, you've seen this before, the straight-laced neighborhood where just the only thing that the housewives can do is spy on each other because they literally have nothing else they can do. Jeff works at this, basically a Boeing-like company, and he works...
Sir.
What?
He worked at IBM. It was legit MBI backwards.
Oh shit! I didn't even.
He worked at MBI, and I was watching the whole movie, going, "Nigga, why are y'all making fun of IBM with this?"
So he works in
MBI
in HR, and he doesn't have access to the secure facilities and people that have clearances. But everybody, because again, he's just the HR guy and. Nobody that has their clearance can use the internet in their offices. Everyone comes to his computer to use their computer. So somebody's trying to sell secrets through his computer, and that's when the Joneses come in as the couple, the government spies or whatever they are, to spy on him and figure out who the mole is at MBI. And it goes, like, again, it's a very straightforward, by the book story. Like, the only thing that really matters in it are, like I said, there are genuinely funny moments with the characters, and they're over the top, they're ridiculous. the guy. I'm not gonna fuck it. Patton Oswalt is in the movie playing Scorpion, and he's just
Patton Oswalt.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's Patton Oswalt.
He's playing his Twitter self.
Right. It's it's exactly what you would expect. It's yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Like, I get tired of the trope that Zach Galifianakis plays this goofy, wild-haired, oldish-looking guy who is really, really overly nice and just takes everything on the chin. He just takes shit from people to take shit from people. He takes shit from people that he shouldn't even take shit from. Being the only person, he's got the key to the castle, basically having full internet access. I mean, to the point where they can use Skype from a secure facility on his computer. That's unheard of. That's ridiculous. But then he goes home and he's got this wife who is way above his pay grade. Mm-hmm. And he is not caring about this at all. He's got these perfect seemingly kids. He's got a big fucking house. Like, this cul-de-sac has some of the biggest damn unnecessarily big houses for normal income families that I've ever seen. And
he works in HR. He ain't making that money. He's not making the same money the engineers are. Like, they were.
No.
Matter of fact, he's in the
and they're
same
his neighbors.
Are engineers. Yeah, it's like there's no way you, the HR guy, is making as much as the engineers are. It's just
he's just like a gardening old white woman in every conversation. He just comes up to people. Oh, look at you. That's adorable. Oh, I appreciate everything about you. Oh, you're talking down to me? I'm going to stand up to that. Like, it's somebody that after a while, you're just like, I don't want to be around you when you're taking this shit from people. And he's like that the whole film. And his wife is legit annoying. Like, when she gets discovered following Gal, which is in the fucking trailers, which is an awkward scene as well, they really were like, well, we got this one woman, this redhead who has really big breasts, and then we got Gal Gadot. At some point we're going to have to develop some type of a sexual relationship between these two, right? We just have to. Because we can't have Zach Galifianakis and John Hamm make out. That would be ridiculous. Despite the fact that Zach Galifianakis is kind of bordering on might be gay. Given his personality in this film. It's just an awkward film that
they're the ones that actually have a bromance. I mean, if you think about it,
yeah.
I mean, when you put it together, Jeff and John Hamm plays Tim Jones. They actually have more of a bromance, bro relationship than Gal, than Natalie and Karen do. So yeah, now that you put it that way, yeah, it actually would make more sense for them to make out at one point in the film. But you can't do that because
because people are voting for Trump.
Right.
I just honestly, I don't think it's a bad film. I don't think it's a good film. You know what? It's a bad film, but it's a good tax write-off film. This is exactly what this is. This has to be something that they had stored away, and they were like, well, John Hamm and Zach Galifianakis are down, and Gal Gadot really wants to ham up wants to ham up in these films to get everybody prepared for Wonder Woman in 2017. So, fuck it. Oh, and we got this, big breasted redhead from The Great Gatsby. Let's do this. And they do it, and it happens. You will enjoy it probably. I feel like anybody who's looking at trailers of this and going, I really need to see this film, you should know what you're walking into. This is like a ripoff of Meet the Millers or We're the Millers.
Yeah, is that 16% right now? I think that's way too low.
I think they're just being mean.
Yeah,
because critics are seeing it for what it is.
Yeah, because I wasn't really looking forward to it. Decided, hey, let's go and see it. Didn't really pay attention to any of the trailers. We were going to see it. I walked out going, hey, you know what? For what it is, it's okay. But again, that was last week, and now
a week later.
Right, a week later, I'm like, oh, I mean, if I had nothing else, like if you look at what's coming out this weekend. Amazingly, Ouija is probably going to be the best movie that comes out this weekend.
Yep.
And it actually, we'll talk about that later, but it actually is kind of good. But like that would be my second. This would probably be my second choice because if you want something just to laugh at, it's quick. It's short. I think it's only like 90 minutes, right?
It feels short because they don't develop any characters whatsoever.
Yeah, it's
at the
105
end, people
minutes.
just have roles.
Yeah, it's 105 minutes. It's the stripped down comedy version of Mr. and Mrs. Smith at some point too. That's basically what Tim and Natalie's characters are kind of playing. But and in a way, they don't even address. They don't. Ham and Godot are clearly the bigger stars in this film, but they don't really develop their characters. Like you said, they just kind of show up and are there and are kind of, they have there should be a whole story with them, but they're not really developed, and they get reduced to basically being, like you said, being backup.
I feel like they had it's a mixture of so many films. It's
right.
Mr. and Mrs. Smith mixed with We're the Millers, mixed with Man from U.N.C.L.E., mixed with The Boss.
Yeah.
Mixed with it's just a bunch of these fucking films crammed into this. And I'm watching it and I'm going, but all of those films except The Boss are better than this film. This film just has its funny moments, and they definitely threw a lot of shit at the board to see what would stick with the jokes in this movie, because there are a lot of jokes that you will miss because they're not funny.
Yeah.
The ones that are funny are legit funny, but the ones that just fly by as normal dialogue, which is how many they actually toss up, it was insane. It was moments where I was just shaking my head like, I can't believe that.
They even do that moment where what's going to happen, where obviously the Gaffneys are going to have to go undercover and do that. They even do that scene, and it goes as, there are some funny moments in that scene and stuff like that. But it's so by the numbers that you
like
just
a half-ass Paul.
It's not as developed as some other things. Like you've seen that trope before of the people who are not spies having to be spies. You've seen that done before in other movies, and like you said, this just throws all those other movies and all those other attempts together into one. And it's not as good as those other attempts. Now, again, I don't think it's as bad as these Rotten Tomatoes scores. I would have been more comfortable with seeing it at 50%.
I don't even know if I could see it at around 30. I just wasn't
30. Okay.
16. I think is terrible. That's just too much. But I think I could see 30% of the people seeing it, liking it, because I'll give it I'm sitting there maybe a 2 for this. I don't think it's terrible.
Who would you give it?
But
out of 10?
Oh wait, no, that would be a 4 then.
4.
Yeah, so I'm saying a 4. I don't think it's terrible or anything, but I also don't think it was I don't want to say necessary. I don't think it's a film that you'll run to watch before you watch a lot of other stuff.
No.
And the title itself, Keeping Up with the Joneses, it legit should have been a film about John Hamm and Gal Gadot dropping in on this couple and snatching them up out of their cul-de-sac life and throwing them into this spy thrillerish action film. And that's not what happened. It spent most of its time developing Zach Galifianakis' character and Isla's character, and having them look from a distance like the audience at John Hamm and Gal Gadot's character. They really don't add a lot to this film, man. They try to develop this, well, we're tired of being spies theme.
Oh, they don't even try to develop. Really they don't try to develop it. They throw that in there, and it's only what's his name? It's only John Hamm's character, only him, and it's just like, you guys can't throw that in there at the last minute and never really develop. Okay, whatever.
It's an awkward film. You look at these two couples, and it's not a film where you would look at it and look at these two couples and go, yeah, I could definitely see John Hamm and Gal Gadot being friends with these two people by the end of this film. By the end of this film, they are the most awkward 4 people. They're the most awkward group of couples. They just don't fit together. The pieces don't fit for these two groups to hang out together. Gal Gadot definitely would not have the patience to put up with these two. Her character in this film has absolutely no patience with these suburban folk. These extra super white suburban folk. So I don't know. A week later, we really should have reviewed this last week. This would have gotten got more praise than sitting a week later, watching the trailers constantly now, and just thinking about I saw Jack Reacher yesterday, and I hate Jack Reacher, and I'm more leaning towards you paying for matinee for that right now than for this, because actually I am leaning more towards you paying for Jack Reacher 2 matinee tickets than matinee tickets to Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Yeah. It's just, yeah. Like I said, this is one of those ones that it hurts when you have when you don't put that screener out the same week because you come back and you're just like, you think, like I said, I was literally thinking about this movie today. I'm just like, I kind of don't even remember the jokes. Like, and I don't remember any joke that hasn't been in the trailer.
They had a lot of slapstick humor too, like falling on stuff, tripping over stuff, running into stuff, walking into stuff, falling into stuff, shit like that. So,
no, there you guys have it. So that's our review for Keeping Up with the Joneses. Yeah, so Phenom mentioned it. The other movie he saw, I didn't get to go see this because I split with going to see Ouija. Jack Reacher Never Go Back. And as Phenom said, he is not a Jack Reacher fan. I'm not going to be honest. I thought the first one was just okay.
You know what?
At best.
When I was the only person, I remember this too. I was the only person out of the group of us, Ride from the Black Eye Tips, Woon, other people that were affiliated with us back then. I was the only person that did not like that movie. I hate that movie.
Well, okay, I didn't hate it, but I definitely didn't like it as much as they thought it.
I did not fucking like that movie. Like, I didn't like the fact that it was shot on a cheap budget. I didn't like the fact that they didn't develop a good story. I didn't like the fact that they had the worst action scenes. Like, the fighting scenes were awful. They were so goddamn awful. And they just threw people into it. So walking into this one, and that was in 2012, and that film had a 62% on Rotten Tomatoes at the end of it all. So I walk into Jack Reacher 2, and I'm expecting the same muddled bullshit that was in the first film. Slow fight scenes, boring dialogue, unwitty dialogue, terrible plot development. And I'm like, fuck it, let's go. I grab a bottle of water, sit down. It starts up. It opens like the original Jack Reacher film, which is weird because you look at the credits. This is a Tom Cruise production starring Tom Cruise from Tom Cruise Studios, shot on the Canon 5D Cruise. It is just like everything has Tom Cruise's name on it. But what I noticed with this film is that they got rid of big name actors. So, and maybe when Jack Reacher, the original, came out, these actors weren't that big. But because Jack Reacher was actually on FX this week. That's not free advertisement. Let me pull this up to see who the actors were in the original Jack Reacher film. Yeah, Rosamund Pike, Richard Jenkins. They actually put up some money for some actors.
What,
Jai Courtney.
In the original one?
Yeah, David Oyelowo, Rosamund Pike, Richard Jenkins, Jai Courtney. They paid for names.
Well, were they big names at that time? When did that film come out? 2013?
Richard Jenkins has been around for a while. David Oyelowo has been around for a while. Rosamund Pike became big right after this film, but she had also been in something before that. And I remember they just put her in that film and made her breast big for no reason in every scene. Like, because when you go and see Gone Girl, that is not something you notice about Rosamund Pike. I didn't even notice they were the same women. Like, when I went to see Gone Girl, I was like, this crazy-ass white woman is crazy. When I saw her in Jack Reacher, I was like, they really just gonna have this woman's cleavage in front of the camera this whole movie, huh? Like that, like she serves no purpose but cleavage. Okay. David Oyelowo, I didn't remember he was in this. I didn't remember Jai Courtney was in it. They probably had the slow motion hand-to-hand combat fight scene at the end that I hated so much. So I was not looking forward to this shit. And I kept getting it confused with Jack Ryan. Like that was the other problem. Couldn't tell these two films apart.
Oh god, yo, all Jacks look alike, yo.
They came out around the same time. So
all Jacks
when I say all of this
racism,
to Jack Reacher.
Racism.
Racism. I say all of this to lead into Jack Reacher 2. I'm thinking I automatically had dubbed the film See Jack Run 2. Because the only thing I'm looking for is running scenes from Tom Cruise. Yeah, they're the best thing about Tom Cruise films.
Tom Cruise run scenes are like the best things ever. Like nobody runs as hard. He'd be running hard for no fucking reason.
He runs hard
for no fucking reason, yo.
So let me just lead in with that. There is about 15 strong, solid minutes of Tom Cruise running in this movie.
Oh shit, nigga, that's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. I'm going to see this shit now, yo.
Not exaggerating. I mean, and it's shot in DC in a lot of scenes. They literally show him running at near like monuments.
Because you know what? If I remember correctly, the first film, I don't think there was enough Tom Cruise running in it.
It wasn't. It was more Driving Cruise, which was
Oh,
bad. They had that badass driving action scene, which was terrible.
Oh, see, now I'm in on this one, yo. You can listen. Tom Cruise run is undefeated. If Tom Cruise runs enough in a film, that film is good. Just go ahead and look it up. It's fact. It's fact.
So the film stars Tom Cruise, Colby Smulders, and people will know her from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Iron Man. She's Nick Fury's right-hand girl.
Maria Hill. Yeah.
Yeah, and Aldous Hodge is in this. We met him. He's in Underground. Mm-hmm. And this new cast member, these are all new cast members they've added. Danica Yarsh plays potentially Tom Cruise's daughter in this. We don't know yet. You got to watch the film to find out. So Jack Reacher is doing his Jack Reacher thing. The film clearly opens with a Jack Reacher bus. You see it in the trailers. He's handcuffed, and he tells the people what's going to happen. He tells them the phone's going to ring in 20 seconds and all of that shit. It opens very TV cop action filmish. And we get kind of a not really at all explanation of what the fuck Reacher's been doing for the last 3 years. Seems like he's been hitchhiking and beating people's asses. I don't know what he's like the most undercover vigilante ever. In the first film, I didn't remember him being military police, but in this film, supposedly he was in the military and part of the military police.
Yeah, he was ex-military police.
Okay, cool. Well, he is having random phone conversations with Cody Smulders over the years, and her character's name is Susan Turner. So he calls it Captain Turner or whatever. He's constantly having these conversations with her. They kind of develop this phone sex relationship. He's like her girl 6, and he decides.
Or are they just talking?
They're just talking, but it's not. It's flirtatious talking.
Got you.
The whole time, right? So I honestly thought this would be the first film where I've seen Colby Smulders kiss a man in a film. I've yet to see her. Like, they always have these scenes where it seems like people might be interested in messing with her, but there was never any follow through with her actually kissing or being out with someone.
She's also, because she's really known for How I Met Your Mother, right?
Is she?
I don't know. Yeah. I think that's
watch this show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never watched this show. I never even understood the concept of that show. It made absolutely no sense to me. But so he shows up in DC where she works to visit her and finds out that she has been charged with espionage and is being held in the military jail that she runs and is awaiting her military appointed lawyer to go to court. And then people start getting murdered with Jack Reacher doing some of the murdering. And he breaks Turner out.
And that's not a spoiler. I mean, you see that in the trailer.
It's not a spoiler. This is plot development. Like, I can't tell you what's happened if I don't tell you these basic things.
And people, it's literally in the trailer. So.
Yeah, he ends up breaking her out, and now they're on a mission to find out who framed her for espionage and why. And supposedly it's somebody within the military police or somebody that's part of this contracting company that works with the military police. They're not exactly sure yet. And while going on this mission, Jack Reacher receives information when visiting the military police base that a woman had sued him years ago for child support.
What the fuck is
that? Right, it's so random. And the woman, is saying that he fathered her daughter, who is now, I think, 15. So he goes to find her, and she is living with some adoptive family who, things end up happening with her, and she ends up with him and Susan, and her name is Samantha. They end up together, and they're trying to solve a case while staying alive because there's this badass, the hunter, I guess they call him the Hunter. There's this badass guy named the Hunter who is chasing them down and trying to kill him, and he is like ex-military special forces Jason Bourne murdering son of a bitch jackal ass looking ginger. And that's what it's about. So the whole film is basically you waiting to watch Jack Reacher and this dude fight. Just like the first film, with you basically waiting to watch Jack Reacher and Jack Courtney's character fight.
Yeah.
And that they go to DC, they go to Norfolk, Virginia, and they go to New Orleans, and that's where the film ends. And honestly, this film is better than the first one. It cuts out some of the corny bullshit and focuses on Tom Cruise being this angry white dude who has absolutely no fucking patience with anybody. None whatsoever. He hits people in the face. He breaks people's arms just to do it. You know, he tells people to stop talking to him. He does not know how to deal with children whatsoever. Like him and this girl have absolutely no connection whatsoever. He is constantly hitting her with the what's my boy's name that is always grunting in the Western films? God, what is Clint Eastwood? He's constantly Clint Eastwooding her with sounds and facial expressions. He is constantly get the fuck off my lawn this whole movie to this young girl who is really, really annoying, but also really, really smart. And Colby is just stuck in the middle of it, stuck in this triangle of love and raising a random child while she's trying to be captain of the military and keep the military police from killing her ass while also keeping this hunter dude from trying to fuck her up wherever he can find her on the street. It is not a film that you need to put much thought into. I feel like the action is more funny than it is like a blend of Bourne camera work and some John Wick movement with some UFC stuff thrown in. But you got to remember that Tom Cruise is 50 plus years old and he's doing a lot of this stuff himself.
But that doesn't make me feel comfortable because, like, I hate the Jason Bourne stuff does not hold up.
I know. Tom Cruise is 50 though, so he just saw those films last year. He thinks that's how it works. He'll see John Wick in about 10 years and he'll start making films like that when he's 65. I don't know. It's not a bad film. I actually enjoyed it. It's a dumb movie.
That speaks up because, like I said, you did not like the first one.
It is not a good film, but it is not a terrible film, and it is very enjoyable. And I feel like if you like the first Jack Reacher film, you'll love this film because everything about Jack Reacher that people thought was awesome, that's the only things they did in this film. They tried to put a story around it, but they really didn't give a fuck about the story. They gave more fuck about people constantly trying to sneak up on Jack Reacher, and Jack Reacher being this omniscient being who always knows that you're fucking watching him. And he basically, like, his running line through the film is, I hate being followed. And he says that before he punches everybody in the face. So it's some funny scenes. There's a lot of Tom Cruise running, a lot of hand-to-hand action. A lot of people get shot, a whole lot of shooting. A lot of people die for no reason. A lot of DC, a lot of running through DC, a lot of running through New Orleans. And of course, every time they shoot a film in New Orleans, it's Mardi Gras season. So
yeah, it's like 24/7.
Yeah, so they always show up right after parade time.
Hey, we're gonna go to New Orleans. Is it Mardi Gras? No, it's not. So, well, sorry, Mr. Villain.
Why are we shooting here? We're not shooting here.
We can't do this.
Makes no sense to go there. Then, what crowd will we run through during the action scenes? Who will we push down that's in beads and costume to get to our destination? I don't know. I like this daughter's character. I thought she was funny. I like Tom Cruise grill face. I feel like Colby deserves better at this point. I feel like she constantly gets cast as the same type of character in these films. Like this legit was Nick Fury's girl, and somehow she ended up in the military police. This might be before she actually meets Nick Fury. Like this is like a prelude to her Avengers days. You know, and they have her do some action scenes too. One thing that did annoy me about the film, like legit annoyed me, was they kept having these her and Tom Cruise kept arguing about who would fight the bad guys because they have this kid. And she tries to throw this misogyny in his face about, because he wants her to stay with the kid because he doesn't know how to deal with kids. And she's like, why? Is it because I'm a woman? And he's like, basically, well, yeah. I mean, plus, I don't fucking like kids. Like, I'm not good with kids. And she gets all upset. And literally the next scene is him having to fight 5 trained special force assassins. Okay, I'm sorry. Like, I know Kobe is supposed to be badass, but no.
Let him.
No, we got to draw the line somewhere. She's not May. Okay, like she's cool, but she's not fucking May from Agents, dude. Like that's no. And even if they threw May in a situation with 5 dudes who were as trained as her, I'd be like, this is kind of unfair. Like, at some point, I kind of gotta be like biology, dog, because even Jack Reacher got his ass whooped almost. A couple of times, Jack Reacher almost got killed, and Kobe is not special forces. She's just the captain in the military. Jack Reacher is from some unspoken area of the military where they only train you to kill people and to do it quietly. So the fact that she keeps arguing with him when he's the only reason that they're even still alive, because all the people that are sneaking up on them constantly throughout this film, she never notices them. It's always him. Like, he's like, I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom. He's going to the bathroom to kill somebody. He'll be back in a second, though. Every time he gets up to go do something, she's like, where are you going? He's like, don't even worry about it. You weren't paying attention. And he goes and kills somebody. Comes back.
They would have already killed you by now.
I got you a water on my way back from killing that assassin dude that was on the plane with us. Shit like that. So it's a fun film. Like, if you're a Jack Reacher fan, go see it. If they keep making Jack Reacher films like this, I'm cool with it. They're clearly going to make another Jack Reacher film because Tom Cruise didn't have to spend any money on actors for this. And he's probably going to make all his money back. Plus, he's going to make 40% off the money he made back from his own movie. And, Aldous Hodge's character. I don't want to forget Aldous Hodge's character. He plays a lieutenant or a commander under Kobe, who now, because she gets detained and thrown in a military prison, he becomes the leader of the investigation, or the recapturing of her and Tom Cruise. And you never really know what side he's on. And I thought his character was pretty dope. Like, he played up to it. He does get his ass whooped by Tom Cruise. Pretty badly, actually.
Oh, I mean, he's on Underground, so he's used to getting his ass whooped by white men, right?
Actually, he spends way more time outsmarting white people in Underground than he does in this film.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He's like the Tom Cruise of slaves in Underground. He's like he is the Jack Reacher in Underground, and in this, man, he reaches and gets touched. It's not good. And gets touched. Yeah. Oh, God. He spent a good amount of the film with a swollen eye. That was kind of
man. That might be the second. Cause didn't Tom do that to David Oyelowo in the first film too? Like, yo, dude.
I think he did.
Oh, come on, man. Why are you fucking up black people like this, man?
I mean, he fucks up way more white people. Like,
that's true.
I mean, percentages and shit, though. The country.
Yeah. I mean,
there's way more white people to fuck up.
Disproportionately.
The cops don't know this, but cops in real life.
Yeah.
And there's one other character, I don't know what her name is. She played I think it's Sergeant Leach. I don't know why her name is Sergeant Leach. She is like helping Tom Cruise do investigative work within the military police. So she's like his contact, his double agent. You know, he calls her and she can find out information from him. They never actually show how she finds all this information. She's only seen on random phone calls. She spends most of the time with her on a phone. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot here. A lot of Tom Cruise running. Tom Cruise doesn't like kids.
You had me at Tom Cruise running. Like
Tom Cruise kicks a lot of people's asses, and it's also it does some of the worst foreshadowing ever. Like they clearly show you things in the beginning that are gonna have their moment during the climax of the film. Like, hey, let me show you this random chokehold in this hotel room, just in case you ever end up in a situation where you might need this on some face off with old girl with the stab and twist knife shit. So they do that a lot. They say things a lot that are supposed to be like foreshadowing. They'll need this later. It is not very well. It's very obvious.
All right. So what would you give the review for this one out of 10?
Reacher?
Yeah.
I give Reacher I debated this. What did I want to give it? I give Reacher a 6.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I think Reacher earned that. I think Reacher earned a 6.5 out of 10. Hopefully the next film is a 7.
Okay, it's creeping up for you. I mean, that's good because, like I said, you did not. I felt bad sending you going to this film and me because, like, I didn't love the first film, but I was like, I probably liked it more than you did, and I was like, man, I felt bad sending you to that one. But hey, it's good that you kind of enjoyed it, man.
Yeah. So go see Jack Reacher, because either that or go see Ouija, or go see some shit that came out last week.
Yeah, and we're like I said, we're doing a double review for this one. I'm gonna have Petty Kruger on to talk about Ouija. And surprisingly, it probably is the best movie to come out this weekend. We'll talk about that in a bit. But yeah, find the rest of the reviews on movietrailerreviews.net. Search for Movie Trailer Reviews on iTunes or Stitcher Radio. And until next time, we are out of here. Peace.
Peace.